1977.
Demonstration been in council.
Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. You see, I like to ask the questions that nobody else like to ask. That's the whole reason for this Perez little hype I'm on right now. Because the more you dig into that name, the more you find. But you find out everything else but the information you're looking for. Like this OG Juan Perez dude. Let's talk about it. Who is this mysterious trio right here? Well, one of the people we know for sure is Sean Carter. Where the J or the Z come in, shit, that behooves me too. I mean, the only thing I could think of is Jazz O was his mentor. Somehow he came up with Jay-Z. Incredible lyricist, by the way. Incredible. Shit, one of the greatest of all time, if you ask me. Lyrically, I'm saying. Who can deny that? But Jay-Z has some strange business partners these days. And I'm not talking about Dame Dash and Kareem's Biggs Burke. Speaking of Biggs Burke, the guy that's standing next to Jay-Z in this picture right here, as far as I understand, his name is OG Juan Perez, or Juan OG Perez. And you see OG Juan Perez and his beautiful wife, Desiree Perez, with Fat Joe right in the middle of it. The terror squad general who proclaimed that, Death Row gave him all this respect when he was on the West Coast. And he's finna get on the track with Big and diss Pac. And then he was the same dude that saved Pac while he was in jail. He was rapping over West Coast beats with Big Pun. Song called Twins. It was a Dr. Dre Snoop original track called Deep Cover. It used to be Joey Crack, right? But we remember you with the Digging in the Crates click, brother. So what you doing standing in between them two motherfuckers behooves me once again. And that story is intriguing. But we'll save our Fat Joe Chronicles for another episode. I just thought it was interesting that he would take a picture right in the middle of this very powerful hip-hop couple whom we know to be the gatekeepers for the gatekeeper, Mr. Sean Carter himself. This timeline is fuzzy to me because Jay-Z's first album, Reasonable Doubt, came out in 1996. Desiree Perez was locked up in 1994 for transporting 35 kilos of cocaine by plane. Federal crime. You see, once you jump on that plane, it becomes federal, because now you're going from state to state. Now, allegedly, she was put on probation because she cut a deal with the DEA. And by 1996, the year that Jay-Z came out with his first album, Reasonable Doubt, claiming to be this incredible crack dealer, hustler / super dope dealer, Desiree Perez was turning state's evidence on the Puerto Rican cartel. And let me tell you something. They don't just send you on one mission. Fuck no. With 35 keys, they send you on about 35 missions. If you don't know what a key is, do your research. Let's talk about Juan OG Perez for a second. He has been very tight-lipped about his childhood and family, although it is pretty well known that the president of Roc Nation Sports was born on February 18th, 1968. And there has been no reports made of his parents or his family or much of anything about this dude. The one thing I do know is Ray Perez was born about a year earlier. And the imaginary background that he has is hard to believe. Almost seems scrubbed and replaced on purpose. But as the businessman has to work with A-list celebrities and sports people, it seems that he has opted to keep his childhood private to assure that public won't swarm his family. And so that ties right in with Ray Perez's lack of information in his background. You understand what I'm saying? Because the one thing I know about Desiree Perez is, what was her maiden name? Why are all the stories on Desiree Perez with the name Desiree Perez? She obviously had to have another name before she met this OG Juan gentleman, unless she was married to this OG Juan gentleman when she was arrested. They don't say much of any of that. But what I do know is one of Jay-Z's business partners, Kareem's Biggs Burke, it was ironic that he ended up catching a marijuana case and doing 5 years in federal prison the same year Jay-Z and OG Juan opened up the 4040 Club and became official business partners and opened up Roc Nation Sports, in which OG Juan would become president of. Now, I'm not saying there's anything sinister here, but I'm saying, why can't we ask the question? What happened to Kareem's Biggs Burke all of a sudden to get a fucking marijuana case to get 5 years in prison? Are you fucking kidding me? To lose all of his stake in Roc Nation, or excuse me, Rockefeller Records. And then at the same time, you find a way to join forces with Lear Cohen and cut Dame Dash. These two dudes started Rockefeller Records along with Jay-Z. They were business partners from day one. But, you know, Biggs and Dame are from Harlem. Jay-Z's from Brooklyn. But OG Juan is from Harlem. Wow. So you tell me that he's from the same hood as these guys? And Ray Perez was born in Puerto Rico but brought to the same area as these guys. But Desiree Perez, whomever her maiden name is, never ever reported. You know what? I have to ask this question on a side note. Was this story reported when it happened? Because 35 kilos is a lot of motherfucking cocaine to get caught with to not make national news. Why did this only come out as she became president of Roc Nation and her recent success? Because allegedly or apparently been down with Jay-Z since 1996. What kind of snake tactics happened to send Kareem Biggs Burke to prison? I seen him on Vlad TV, but he didn't really necessarily go into the ballistics of any possible informantry, because he didn't go to jail for selling weed. He went to prison for growing marijuana plants. Now, there's a little side nomer there that makes you say, how would the police know that Kareem's Biggs Burke accompanied Rockefeller Records, Rockefeller Clothing, Rockefeller S. Doc Carter shoes? I mean, the list goes on. At least 3-4 artists in the platinum status. You have Jay-Z, platinum. Beanie Siegel, platinum. Cameron and Jules Santana, platinum. Okay? How many more platinum records they was printing money. The company had to be worth way more than $500 million. Because Jay-Z is a billionaire by himself now. Think about that. Every time some niggas go to prison or get murdered and a hostile record label takeover takes place, it's always with the most harsh and horrid conditions on somebody. In this case, it was Kareem's Biggs Burke and Dame Dash. Got their ass mollywopped in that deal. Jay-Z came out unscathed with the beautiful princess wife and shit. You know? To link up with these Perez family members. It seems like these motherfuckers had everything sold up from New York to the West Coast. When they talk about the hip-hop police, man, you wonder what these alleged hip-hop police connection was to Yaki's death. Why did Big feel so comfortable to come to the West Coast, 6 months after Pac was killed? Who the fuck told him it was okay? I'm telling you, see, there was a false sense of security going on. People wanted certain motherfuckers out the way. With Big in the way, you would have never had a DMX or a Desi. Never. You gotta remember that. With Pac in the way, you would have never had none of those motherfuckers. We got a whole new rap game after you got rid of Big and Pac, if you really think about it. Even old niggas was able to come back. Motherfuckers that had no career when Pac and Big was around. None. There wasn't no room for them. Shit. Total on 112 was hitting more than these rap niggas. R&B, the same thing happened to that. After Big and Pac got killed, somehow they managed to throw R. Kelly in jail for shit they already knew and demolish R&B. Come on, man. I'm not saying there's a conspiracy there, but I'm saying what happened right before our very eyes. We witnessed it. That's when I realized that R. Kelly was the final gatekeeper they had to take down. Because once they took him down, they literally got rid of R&B forever. Beyonce ain't really singing like that no more. We ain't heard a Rihanna record in years. Years. Chris Brown, he's a goddamn rapper now. What happened to R&B? You know, it's almost like they wanted this prison industrial complex music and shit to come out and got rid of, family making music and positive vibe music. I'm not sure if there's an agenda with that, but you can only see, and they're not dumb, they're college educated men. They knew what was happening and they knew how it was going to happen. They predicted it. So it's not calling the music business evil and wicked, because that's the wrong thing. That's what they want you to say, so you'll stay out of it, so they can continuously make all the money. Those are fear tactics. That's why they got all these actors in the game that y'all think is legit MCs, and they're not. They're actors, they're trained actors, and they're incredible actors, because they're able to pull the wool over everybody's eyes and fake their deaths and shit. And now they be like, oh, people don't really believe it, so let's make sure that, social media captures it. Social media is dangerous because, it can make people believe anything in time. If Pac and them would have had social media, we wouldn't be talking about their murders 25 years later. But there was no social media back then. We had to wait till magazines came out, We had to wait till videos or MTV had a guest in which they could ask certain questions. It was very time delayed. And this time, everything is right on time with the snap of a finger. So, this whole Perez thing got me to thinking, and I realized that there is a play out there called Carmen Lopez Perez, which is a play. And, you can push play on a tape deck or you can be played. But either way, the word play is in play. Pay attention, because we don't kid or play. We only play around on the playground. This ain't another bad creation, but we stay down with innovation, smoking that herb, full of elevation, for that sweet sensation of my voice, people's choice, here to restore the J in journalism.